Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're from. I'm Captain Jinner, and I'll bring you this story today because I'm absolutely freaking disgusted in what Grey Zone Warfare's just done. It's unbelievable. And I'll get into the full story and we'll give you some documents and some information later on in the video. We will. But basically, a week or so ago, I asked for a subject access request to Grey Zone Warfare, so they could provide me with my information that they hold on me, or the information that they hold on me, which I'm totally entitled to do. And I got no response from them, not even acknowledge that they acknowledged the email or anything like that. And today I was streaming and somebody came in my chat, and basically we'd been watching some of the Grey Zone Warfare stream on Twitch, and I was watching it as well, and it got a little bit boring or whatever, and I disappeared, and I carried on streaming the game. And somebody came in my chat and says that somebody was really shit talking me in their stream about cheating and stuff like that, and that nobody should watch me, sort of thing, and blah blah blah. So I went in their Discord and asked who was saying these negative things about me and my brand and my company. And the moderators basically says, oh, you'll have to contact you go through the support and ask that way, or go back to the VOD or whatever. And I was like, I ain't got time for this, and I ain't got time for that. So I asked for a subject access request. So I wrote in their Discord, I want a subject access request for everything involved in me and my name to do with Grey Zone Warfare in Discord and Grey Zone Warfare as a company. And I'm making this a legal request, and this is something you have to do. And the moderator came back to me and says, oh, you have to raise this or raise that. And I was like, no, I don't. And if you delete this message, you're deleting my access request, which is against the law. And you shouldn't be doing that. And I advise that you contact Grey Zone Warfare employees before you start doing this. He's, I'm just a volunteer. I says, well, exactly. You should be this is something I'm illegally allowed to do. And you should be if you're not sure about it or you don't know what you're doing, go and contact Grey Zone Warfare. Within 10 minutes, they banned me out of their Discord, which is unbelievable. So I'm going to show you something now, chat. We're going to switch to the PC screen. And this is a guide to a subject access request that you have to abide by. And it abides to most countries as well, European Union and UK and stuff like that. Information Commission's Office. So if you generally trade or do something in different countries, there's certain things you have to abide by. And if you trade in the EU or if you trade in America or wherever, there's certain things you have to abide by. But basically, this is basic GDRP. It is. And it's a guide to subject access. And at a glance, this says individuals have the right to access and receive copies of their personal data and other supplementary information. This is commonly referred to as a subject access request, SAR. Individuals can make SARs verbally or in writing, including via social media. Hence why I asked for it in Discord. Third parties can also make SARs on behalf of other persons. In most circumstances, you cannot charge a fee to deal with this request. Okay, so I'm not going to carry on reading through that, but you can clearly see it on the screen and you can read through it yourself. And these are the basic laws and rules of GDRP. They are. So I've totally within my right to ask for this information. And they have to accept the way that I've asked for it, whether it's in Discord or email or whatever. And they generally get 30 days to respond to me. So it's absolutely outrageous because I asked for this information. They've deleted me and got rid of me out of their Discord. I can't believe that they've done it. And I think it's utter disgraceful. This company is dealing with people's bank details and stuff like that or whatever information. And they can't even abide by simple GDRP conditions. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about this story because this has been going on for a long time, people, and this is why I've asked for it. I've accepted and rode on some of this stuff for a long time, and especially when there's been lies and stuff like that said about me, I've sort of brushed it under the bush sort of thing. But now it's beginning to really piss me off, and it's affecting me and my name and my company. But just a little bit of information about me myself. I'm a disabled person. I'm registered disabled, and I'll show you the proof later on in the video. I had seriously back injuries at work, so I lost a lot of use in my legs and stuff like that. So I turned to PC gaming something I'd not really done before. I got interested in Grey Zone Warfare. I loved the sight of it and everything. So basically went out and built some PCs so as I could play the game, play Grey Zone Warfare. The game looked really interesting to me and stuff like that. And I was like, yeah, great. So I went out and built some PCs and I started to stream what I was doing. So I was only very little tiny and I'm still very little tiny streamer and stuff like that. And basically I was helping people out in the game. I was helping with missions in the Discord and stuff like that and giving people their opinions and stuff like that, good and bad, about the game. In Grey Zone Warfare used to say we never had a problem with people saying what they think about the game. But when I got people coming in my chat and stuff like that, and they said, like, I've got a 1080 graphics card and it says on Steam I can play it and I can't even get 30 FPS and stuff like that. And I was like, dude, you'll never play it on that. And in 0.1, you would never have played it on that. You know, I used to give people my honest opinion and they didn't like it. So in some respect, I was discouraging people with low-end PCs not to buy the game. And they clicked onto this and they really hated me for it. So, and another problem occurred early on where I used to play with a group of people, old friends now, they've sort of disappeared. And unknowingly to me, I had no advanced warning of this or anything like that. One of them typed something in Discord because he was unhappy with the game or whatever. I didn't even really know what the message was about. I didn't have time to deal with any of it, really, to be honest with you. My mum was fighting for her life in hospital. And next minute, you know, I'm getting ping, 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 ping Discord on my phone. And it's coming from this private chat inside Grey Zone Warfare. So you know how you get, you know, general chat, blah, 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 blah. Because to give me a GM status, I got to go in another chat that you lot couldn't see in. And I was getting shit after shit after shit by these VIPs about this comment that this bloke had put in Discord, which was nothing to do with me. And they was really going at me for it as if it was my fault and stuff like that. And I was like, mate, just bear with me. I'll try and sort it out. I'm just trying to deal with my mum. She's fighting for her life in hospital, like, you know. What they did is they deleted all these messages. So by the time I get back home to my computer to screenshot them, they've gone. They've deleted them. So then when it goes into like the general public thing and I start to have a go and I'm like, dude, you can't be talking to people like this. It's not fair. It's not on that you're talking to people like this in your Discord and stuff like that. And I start mirroring their behavior to the moderators in Discord. So they got Marty, went crying, deleted the messages out of there, what they'd done to me and the VIPs had done to me, and went crying to Grey Zone. So Grey Zone took the GM off me, basically said that, you know, you can't be going off with this behavior like that. Bearing in mind, all these messages that these VIPs, content creators and stuff like that, and the moderators were writing to me in this private part of their Discord was deleted. Before any of this, basically it put a bad impression on me of what had gone off and give people the wrong idea. But I kind of brushed that under. I was like, you know, just forget it. I'll deal with it. You know, it is what it is. I can't be arsed with the drama as such, you know. And it's carried on. It did. And then recently, maybe 4 weeks ago, something like that, they suspended me for 2 days for using a crosshair on my screen, which I downloaded off Steam. So it weren't like I downloaded something from an hacker site or anything like that. It was just something I downloaded off Steam. And let me just go into this before. I didn't need to download this because my monitor has it built into it. And I know loads of these other gaming monitors have it built in. Right? And I know there was people who was like, how is he hip firing like that? How is he doing this? How he's doing like that? And there was a lot of things going off in Grey Zone Warfare at the time, which I exposed. I was the first person to expose it, and I knew about it in 0.1, but I'd never said anything until their content creators started abusing it and doing it in their videos. And I thought, well, it's only fair that everything's fair. So I exposed them for the people using the low graphic settings on purpose so you could see through bushes, and the bushes disappeared. So I had a rant about it on stream and I showed people how they was doing it and stuff like that. Because I didn't think it. I was watching these content creators put videos out and there's this poor bloke in a bush and he thinks he's hiding in his bush and he's flicking his scope backwards and forwards and you can see the bush disappearing. And they're laughing and joking about it and they're basically, you know, shitting on this youth because they're exploiting. And I know a lot of these other people were using this crosshair on the screen and stuff like that. No end of people told me that they use it and they've been using it. But I didn't want to hide it. And there's two reasons I did this. The first reason I really mainly did this is because at the time, everything was bugging out with the boxes, with the doors, and all sorts of things was bugging out with Grey Zone Warfare. You couldn't get through doors in Midnight Sapphire. You couldn't open certain boxes and stuff like that unless you got the perfect angle to hold it. So bearing in mind, you can watch most of my streams. I'm generally a PvE player, so it wouldn't really be cheating or hacking on anybody or getting an unfair advantage really on anybody. Although I know all these people are doing it. I do. And I know loads of other people that are using external software to do things. Not really cheating. I don't think the crosshair is cheating. I don't think it's an unfair advantage because I was showing people what other people had built into their monitors and that they was using. So let's say the poorer end of people or the people that couldn't afford the £600 monitors in the game. You know, I was showing them like, you can go on Steam, get you send £6 spent, and you can have a crosshair on your screen as well. You can get through the doors easier. You can open the box easier. And Grey Zone was like, oh no, we're going to suspend you for 2 days because you're using third-party software. And I was like, what? Really? Bear in mind, I'd had loads of conversations with Grey Zone Warfare privately in Discord about all sorts of stuff. And they could have quite easily have messaged me in there and say, Jinna, don't promote this sort of stuff. We don't like it. We don't want it to happen or whatever. And I would have been like, okay, fair enough. It's not a problem. Like, you know, and I could have just scrapped it and I could have told everybody, look, listen, the Grey Zone Warfare is not happy about this. Don't use it. It was bad advice to give you this or whatever, even though it's built into people's monitors. Anyway, the story went on and they banned me. And I was like, dude, why are you banning me for this when you've got VIP streamers using and selling third-party software on their streams? They're actually selling this stuff on their streams. Why are you punishing me for it and not banning them for it? And I was like, have you got any evidence of it? I was like, yeah. And I'll show you the messages later where I've direct messaged them. I'm not going to show you the name of the streamer or anything like that because I don't think it's fair, because I don't think they've done anything really that bad or whatever. They've done nothing worse than what I've done, and it was absolutely silly what they did. But of course, this has put a tarnish on my name and my channel, which is unbelievable. And this is why I asked for the subject access request, so I can come out and I can go and show everybody what's actually gone off and the truth and what's been going off. And even I can take legal advice about this stuff as well, because I think they've absolutely discriminated against me for this sort of thing. And basically, they've refused me to go in VIP programs and stuff like that, basically because I told the truth about the game and the way I feel, and I don't big it up when there's no need to big it up. Don't get me wrong. I praise the game when it needs praising and when it has been praising. You can go back, watch my streams and everything, like, you know, oh, the rain and that's been brilliant. The wind has been brilliant. You know, this gun's been brilliant and stuff like that. And I really like the way they've done this, or I wish to change this, which, by the way, they said they'd never, ever punish us for, but yet they have done on a number of occasions. There's times when I've asked to go in that VIP program, they say, oh, you're not quite big enough channel yet, Jenna. You know, keep going, keep carrying on. And then next week, I see somebody that's in that VIP program and they've got less subscribers, less followers than me. And I was like, what the hell? And the truth of the matter is because I speak my mind and tell the truth to people. It's same when I've exploited cheaters and stuff like that in this game. And I'll show you some of their messages as well, where I've explained to some of the representatives of Grey Zone Warfare how these people are cheating, what they're doing, and how they're doing it. And basically, they said, because I know how they're doing it, I'm cheating myself and I shouldn't have been doing it and blah, blah, blah. And they've like blamed me for cheating as if I was doing it. I was like, I'm telling you this so you can stop it. So the general people in Grey Zone Warfare can have a good experience. Because there's players now that have refused to play the game because of the cheating problem in the game. You know, people that's got ESP, Warlocks and stuff like that are just running around rampantly. You know, they had to put a statement out last week in their Discord on the kill week, because people were posting pictures where they're playing in the dark. They're supposed to be playing in the dark and they're showing people, look, I've killed him. And you can clearly see that they've got the contrast glitch going and every other glitch going. And they're posting the pictures in the Discord. You know, they're exploiting. That's why people bogged off in the first place when this patch came out. It's all right for your 2,000-hour players like myself that know about these things. But when new players come into the game and they don't know about these things and they get into, like, it's pitch black, they can't see the freaking nose, and they're getting smashed by somebody that's 600 meters away. they get disgruntled and go. But it's really pissed me off about this subject access request, and it looks like I'm going to have to take legal advice, because I'm going to have to contact Discord. I'm going to have to contact people involved in GDPR, because they shouldn't be doing this behaviour. It's absolutely disgusting. And you've got to be really careful now with these sort of companies that's doing this sort of thing, because all the data they hold on you, and you're supposed to be able to have access to this, you know, details, bank details, all sorts of things like that. It's despicable. And you know that pisses me off the most, right? In 0.1, there was begging people, buy the supporter pack so we can have the money to finish the game. And I'm disabled, man. I get very little money. I know I've got a lot of good PC stuff and stuff like that, but I've had to spend that out of my savings to get that. So I get very little money a month. And I gave them more money than I needed to help them support the game. And then we're a year on, and they're flying fucking content creators around in helicopters, paintballing, all this short shit, getting pissed every day live, you know, and you can see it on the streams and stuff like that. I'm like, dude, I'm struggling here to fucking pay and live, and I've give you my money to develop this game, and you're fucking flying content creators around in helicopters. Yeah, I'm getting shot by AR 300 fucking miles away because you can't be, you're too busy flying about in helicopters to fix your game. Too busy offering these different events. And we have to put up with your shit, but yet you've got our money and begged us for our money. And it pisses me off when you don't get a lot of money anyway. And these sort of people are doing that to you. It's absolutely fucking bonkers shit crazy. And this is the attitude of the employees that work for him, sort of thing. It's absolutely bonkers crazy. You can only just go and watch it on some of their streams. It's unbelievable. And people are really fed up about it, really, to be honest with you. That's why people are leaving the game and stuff like that. Some of the old veteran sort of people that play it, they're off, they're gone. They're like, no, I can't be doing with this. And that's the truth about it. I'll show you some of my personal details, so I'm not lying about my disability, and I'll also show you these messages, so we can go through them shortly to show I'm not lying. But I need this information back off them, and all these deleted messages that they should have stored and that, because they're not supposed to delete these sort of messages, you know, and they're supposed to hold it under GDPR rules. And you can even go and read and see this in Discord terms and conditions. You can, so they can delete the message, but it has to be on file somewhere. It has to be copied. They can't just, I want these messages so I can prove to you like what's really gone off and what's really been happening. And I'll show you the way that some of them have been talking to me in private Discord messages as well, when we've been going backward and forth about cheating allegations and stuff like that. And I'll show you it all. It's absolutely despicable, really. And people say, why don't you quit the game and stuff like that? And I'm like, I actually like the game as such. I don't mean I don't have to like the company, but I like the game, and I've spent my money in this game, so why should I go off and play something else? Why should I be kicked out of their Discord for asking for a subject access request? That's my data that you've got on me, and I'm illegally allowed to ask for it, and I want it. And I even says to them, if they want to talk to me privately, that's okay. But they just decided to delete me out of their Discord, which is absolutely outrageous. So you want to be very careful about this company, people, and I'm going to go further with this. They have 30 days from that request now to send me the information, and then I've got to take legal advice and that about the discrimination of what they've done to me, 'cause it's unbelievable. Anyway, we'll go through some of these messages. I ain't going to show you absolutely everything, because if it goes to court or anything like that, I've got to be careful what I show and what I see and blah de blah. And I don't want to hinder it in any way, shape or form. But we'll just go through a few of these things now. Okay, so this is the first thing I want to show you. And you can read the rest of the messages or whatever. I don't really give a shit. And you'll have to excuse my dyslexia. Anyway, if you look at the bottom here, I wrote to Jacob or Jacob. We are having a problem in PvP with players having the game running 2 times. They are putting one player in one faction and the other in another faction in the same server, so they can use the map to see where people are. Now, in the new update, we will be able to have armbands, or we'll be having armbands. So we only need to see the people on the squad. You only need to see, basically, so we only need to see people that's in the same squad on the map. We don't need to see the whole faction, which I thought was a good idea, because we got the blue armbands. You could see if they was on your side or not. If the devs can make this happen, it will stop a lot of people cheating in the game. 80% of people I talk to in the game, not play PvP because of the cheaters in the game. I think this will help out with the problem. Thanks, Jinner. And it's exactly what I was getting feedback. He put, and how do people make sure they're in the same server if they're in different factions? So I tried to explain this to him. They have people they know in both factions. So that's one way of doing it. They will wait, get killed, and keep an eye out for them and ask them to invite them on the other account. And I know it works like this. I do it myself. When we do plan PvP nights with lads from other factions. And this is exactly what we did. What we used to do. Alter everything. When we was doing the PvP events. To make sure we was on the same server. So say if I knew somebody in Crimson. I'd say, right, fly out to this LZ. And I'll fly out to this LZ. And we'll make sure they're on the same server. So we could have guaranteed PvP fights and stuff like that. But people was using it for an advantage. So what they'd do is. They'd make sure that they've got two accounts, one in one faction and one in the other, and then they'd just rather leave one character in the base and just use the map, so they got a permanent UAV. And this is what I was trying to get across to this dude, and trying to explain it to him, what they was doing. We wasn't doing this because we hadn't got two systems running doing this on the same PC or anything like that, or a separate PC. All we was doing is getting one person from one faction to fly to a LZ and another person from another faction to fly to same LZ. If we was in the same server, then we'd all invite the friends and whatever, and they'd split up into groups and invite other people. That's how we got the PvP events going and so many people in them back in the day. I explained to him how they was doing it and what they was doing and why they was doing it. But I will forward your feedback to the devs, but I doubt there's much we can do about this. Paul, like yourself, will apparently go the extra mile to get an advantage. So he's accusing me of cheating. He's accusing me of doing this to get an advantage over other people when I've clearly explained to him how we was doing this and what we was doing it for, and it's not the intent that people was doing it. And I can't believe that he called me a freaking cheater. I don't do this with the map cheating at all. I never would. We have used this in ways to get to the same server before, so we can do planned PvP events. Not in a cheating way at all. And then he does apologise. Well, you see, Harry jumped to the conclusion of calling me a cheater straight away when I was trying to explain. This is the second part, where somebody's using third-party software, selling it on their stream as well. This is third-party software you can see in the picture here. They're using it to get an advantage because they're altering their mouse sensitivity in a way that other people can't unless they've got this software. Right, okay. I don't really have a problem with this. I don't think it's too much of a problem. But my argument is it's third-party software like they suspended me for 2 days for. This is a content creator, which I'm not going to throw under the bus, but this is a content creator. He's a really good lad, actually. And he don't agree with the way that they banned me for what I was doing with the crosshair and stuff like that. Another version of what was going off. Yeah. So they know about it, and you can see it's clearly in the message. I've sent it to them, and they know about this. And they didn't do a flying thing about it. They didn't apologise to me. They didn't ban him. They didn't suspend him. They didn't drag his name through the muck or anything like that. Well, there's clearly a clip. And bearing in mind, this chap is quite a good streamer. He's a really good lad. And I don't believe what he's doing is wrong there neither. Like just what I was doing with the crosshair, I don't think that's wrong either. Same as I say, these things are built in monitors. And these sort of programs that he's using there can also be available in Razer software and stuff like that. But it's third-party software that they banned me for. So why is it good for one and not good for another? And this went on as well, where another person was using third-party software. And I know exactly what he was using because I use it for other reasons. There's a thing called StreamerBot, which is third-party software. And I use it to control my stream so I can talk and say, turn on webcams, turn off webcams, and stuff like that. It also does a lot of other things for streamers, like where you get text to speech and stuff like that. But you can also use it to control your game. So, for instance, I could say into the microphone, turn on MVGs, and it will put my MVGs on. I could say, turn on torch on my gun, and it'll turn the torch on my gun. So this is third-party software that somebody's using to control the game, and I gave them evidence and proof of this. And this is another VIP content creator, and this was nothing to do with throwing any of them under the bus. This is because I knew what was coming in the future and what they was going to do about it. Absolutely nothing, but yet they punished me for it. So I find it really disgusting that they've done this to me, but their VIP program, their VIP players are doing all this sort of stuff live on their stream, and not one of them's got punished for it. And they can't say they don't know about it, because not only have I sent it to them in Discord, I've also messaged them by email about this and what's going off and happening as well, and why they punish me for it and not their content creators. So this is what I mean about discrimination. It's absolutely crazy that they're doing this to me, but they're not doing it to anybody else. Why can one person do this and not another? So this is not intent to throw any content creator under the bus or anything like that. This was nothing ever to do with that. So if you think I've done that, I do apologise, because it wasn't about that at all. It was about the double standard and the discrimination against them and me. All said and done, if these things are built into monitors, into keyboards, into mice by the manufacturers and stuff like that, then why is it not acceptable that somebody can download a program and do the exactly same thing? Maybe this software didn't come with their monitor. Maybe this software didn't come with their mouse. Maybe they couldn't afford the £200 mouse that does that. Yet there's a little bit of software that I can get for a few quid that'll do the same thing for them. Yes, I know it's third-party software, but it's not really gaining an advantage over anybody else. And it's available to anybody. It's not like you've gone on a private Discord and bought cheats off somebody and wall hacking and stuff like that. It's really misdemeanor, terrible stuff that nobody'd even bother about. Yet these just decided to punish me for it live on stream as well. They could have quite easily have done this privately through these messages. And the messages go on. So even to Devil Dog Gamer, he's a company employee. And these are some of the messages that I've sent him, so you can read through them. I apologise for the spelling mistakes and stuff like that. I don't see how they can be allowed to get away with this. So bearing in mind, people, they've got a load of data on you as well, and you should be very careful about them, because they shouldn't be deleting or banning me out of their Discord for asking for a subject access request. I've shown you the proof where I'm entitled to it, and I can be entitled to ask that way. It's clearly there in black and white. I'll just go on and show you my disability stuff to prove to you I'm not lying about that as well, because I'm not fake. I don't lie and I don't cheat, and I try and be as honest with you lot as possible. I've got no reason to lie to you. But please don't forget to like, subscribe and share this video, because they shouldn't be getting away, and they shouldn't be allowed to get away with this whatsoever. And I shouldn't have to go out of my way to fight, to have to complain to Discord, to complain to other people just to get my personal information, which is general GDPR. And I don't think they realise the massive amount of fine that this is to break these conditions. The fine is absolutely horrendous, and I don't really want to go that far and take it that far, but if I have to, if they carry on with the behaviour, I will do. I don't see why I should let this go when they've treated me like they have. And I know it might sound bitchy-moany to you all lot, but this is your legal rights, and you shouldn't be persecuted for asking for your information and kicked and banned out their Discord for it, when you've got a legal right, including via social media, which Discord is. And it even says it in Discord's terms and conditions. It does. So they'll be getting reported to Discord as well. And if they get chucked off their Discord and not allowed on their platform no more, then so be it. They shouldn't be doing this to people. It's against the law and wrong. I don't want it to go this far, but if they're going to act this way and act childish and stuff like that and not respond to me, then I'll take it further. I won't let them get away with it. It's not fair, and it's not on, and they shouldn't be doing it to me, and it could quite easily happen to you. I'll show you the disability stuff just for full transparency, and then we'll end this video. Okay, so this is my disability badge. This is what I have to use for parking, and I've had to cover some of the information up so I don't dox myself. But you can clearly see if you watch my stream, that's mask mat on my desk. It is. And it's got my picture on the back. If it's absolutely necessary, I'll actually show you the picture on the back, but it'll take me a lot of editing because I have to obscure some of the personal information so I can't dox myself. So going back to these allegations of being suspended and stuff like that for using third-party software, they never even asked me or give me a chance to defend myself to see whether I was using some of this to do with disabilities or anything like that. They basically just shut me down straight away, especially when I restarted reposting to them. the stuff that the other VIP content creators were doing. They just shut down, locked up. Now I invite anybody that knows anything and has a proven track record with PCs to scan any of my PCs, because I can assure you now they won't find anything, not one thing, and there neither has there or will be ever that sort of thing on my computer. You've only got to watch me live on stream. Jesus Christ, I'm not even the greatest of players. You can clearly see I've not even been playing and aiming and got the greatest of keyboard skills. So to have these allegations about me about cheating really is ludicrous, really. Well, there is my disability badge, which I said I'd show you. Now I'm not going to keep going on about this and further on, but please like, share and subscribe to the channel. This will help me out, and we'll see where this goes in the future. We will. But just remember, when you're dealing with this company, they also have your personal information, and when they can't abide by simple GDRP rules, I'm saying that the wrong way around, but you know what I mean, then you have to be careful with this company. Very, very careful. Anyway, we're going to leave the video there, but thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share the video so that other people are aware of what this company is doing. Cheers all. Have a great afternoon. Bye.